So, Arch Linux is deemed to be one of the hardest Linux distros to actually learn and install, but my naive self isn't going to listen to anybody who wants to say that as a beginner I shouldn't use Arch, because I think it'd be cool to use it. So, without further ado, let's get to it. Okay, so I found a wiki for Arch Linux, and here's the installation guide. I read over this a little bit, but by the looks of it, I'm going to need to find, let's see, I need their ISO file. That way I can run it via a USB onto the drive on the computer that's going to be running Linux. So let's go ahead and figure out how to do this. Alright, so by the looks of it, I need to just install it from here. And then if we go to here, I don't actually know how to run. I guess we can open with. Can I open this with anything? I don't think so. I think I need to install something to run this. Let me look that up. Alright, so I did some looking into it. I think I need BitTorrent, which I have here. We're going to go ahead and run this and see what happens. Not going to read any of this, but I'm going to scroll it as if I am. Don't know all the differences there, so I'm just going to press yes. Hope for the best. Simply open this. Is that an ad? There's advertisements in this? Wowzers. Alright, well, let this do its thing, I guess. Oh. Wanna make extra money? Not really. Alright, and it appears to be completed. Like on here, is it just, yep, right here. We're gonna drag this down to the USB drive. So, here's where I screwed up. And I spent half an hour trying to fix things because of the screw up. So I'm going to really quickly explain it to you on how I screwed up, and then I'm just going to show you after. There's just going to be a fast forward clip on screen. You'll still get to see it all. But pretty much you're not supposed to just drag the file to the drive. I thought you were supposed to do that. I've never really actually used ISO files to install operating systems because I haven't had to do that for my own systems. Turns out you have to do what's called burning the ISO onto the drive and whatnot, something like that. So I had to install a special app and everything. I eventually got it fixed, but it did indeed take me a while. Alright, I'm pretty sure I figured it out. I feel really stupid. Select target. The source drive. So I can't choose that because that's where it's located. Onto this. And we just press this button. And I think this works. Alright, it appears to be finished. Well, I think if we go ahead and grab this out of the PC, shove it into the other one. Oh, right here. It's beeping at me. Arch Linux install medium with speech? No, without speech. I think. Is it supposed to be a black screen? Oh, something just flashed. So here was my second decent fuck up. I learned about this thing called an installer script after I spent 24 minutes attempting to partition my disks. 24 minutes. 24. I wasted 24 minutes trying to partition a disk whenever I could have typed, like, a little installer script thingy. Alright, so, I just looked something up, and if I do a simple line of text... Guys. If I were to simply look up a better tutorial earlier, we would have saved about 40 minutes. apparently, I can do everything I need here. Disk configuration, partitioning. So I guess let's speed run through the setup now. Whoop-de-doo. Alright. I'm pretty sure this is the last thing I need. Specified configuration will be applied. Would you like to continue? Yep. And apparently this takes a while, so yay. Oh. Alright. What would you like to do next? Guess I want to reboot the system. Yo, we're in. I guess I'll select this. I'll input my password. Press enter, and here we go. I don't quite know what any of this is. Vim. Guys, I should learn Vim next, shouldn't I? Got my console with a K. Is this like... So this was my third and final, least minor screw up. I accidentally loaded into Genome, I think it was, and not KDE Plasma, which is what I wanted to. So once again, we'll skip ahead. So I did make a list of a few things that I for sure knew that I wanted to do. Let's really quickly go over those. So here it is. It's a very convenient list. I cannot read it right now because I don't have my HDMI switched over, which is kind of a pain. So I want to be able to set a custom theme. I want to be able to change my wallpapers. I also want to get a custom cursor. I want to see if that's possible, just because I feel like that'd be pretty cool. Also, I do have a custom cursor here on Windows that I really like. I also want to test out installing a few apps and then running Steam to see if I could play some sort of game just to see if it's possible, because I've looked it up. Everything's saying it's possible, so might as well try. I don't know what I was typing there. I kind of just stopped. But we'll definitely find some more things to do and have fun on it. So let's switch back over. Oh, and I'm switching to whenever I actually figured out how to get it off of Genome and onto KDE Plasma. Just so you know. There we go. So it was loading into Genome, which I don't know why. I didn't install that. Alright, let's go through all those checks again. So, settings right there. That's pretty simple. My cursor is already set to the one I have it set as. My theme. It has all the different things that I like. Oxygen, I don't know. Let's try that. No, that's a freaking light mode. Oh gosh. Kill me. Kill me. Wow. That one looks pretty cool. Let's do this. Well, I was able to change the theme. I was able to change the wallpapers. By the way, post-recording, I did go in and change the wallpaper to just a random one that I thought was really cool. So I was able to add my very own custom wallpaper to it. Now, I do want to add my own wallpapers, but all the ones I use are on Wallpaper Engine, so I don't think that would work here. So I was trying to install my browser, but it took me like 4 minutes and I couldn't figure it out. And then I figured out a software center. So yeah, that's cool. Is there a different way I can go about this? Text editor, fire, software center. Or install apps or discover or install Flatpak using the Pacman thingy. I really need to get a browser installed. How to install Flatpak on Arch Linux. I need to do... I'm gonna clear this real quick. Sudo pacman -s Flatpak. Yes. So is this just how I install everything? It's just -s? I'm gonna try that with the browser as well. Oh wait, no. Keep saying... I've seen like so many different videos about Linux and it was apt for apt and whatnot. And I'm just used to like wanting to do that, man. And then Brave browser. Nope, still not that. But if we load this now, it should load into this. Let's full screen this. It is loading, guys. It is loading. There we go. Alright, so I guess we're gonna be... We'll see if we can find Brave. I prefer Brave just because it runs on Chromium. And so there's none of the problems with having to run stuff on Firefox. And it blocks a lot of ads, which is really nice. So once I get that, I want to figure out how to set that to one of my favorites there. It's installing. We will wait for that. Alright, it is finished installing. Let's go ahead and launch it. I don't know if I want that. Automatically in dark mode, which is a big plus. Whenever I full screen it, it looks like we have some issues there. So we just won't full screen it. Alright, so we're going to set this to the default browser. Obviously set it into dark mode. There we go. Ta-da! Now, I need to figure out how to switch my monitor over to 165 hertz, so let's go ahead and figure that out. I want to check the settings real quick. There's a display and monitor right here. Oh, refresh rate. So it's already at its max. It's just like does not appear as smooth to me for some reason. I think it's only whenever I resize windows. That's whenever it kind of looks odd, depending on the window. So I think it may just be a hardware problem. Because like I said previously, this isn't running the greatest hardware. But I do have a 165 hertz monitor, but due to capture card stuff, that's how I'm recording it. I can only have the limit of 120. The next thing I want to do is switch to the vertical tabs instead of the horizontal tabs. And I can just right click and use vertical tabs there. Because I find this much more efficient. Also, I think that fixes my little issue there. Ta-da, perfect fix. So now I want to go ahead and install Steam. We have this, which is our application. What did I just press? Oh, okay, so if I go up to this corner, it kind of like checks my different desktops, I guess. I would also want to like see all these and whatnot. I feel like I'd like that better up there for like mostly efficienciness. Yeah, efficiency-ish. Efficiency. No, because there's still some bugs there. Or we could try, on the left side. I want to do something different. I don't want to make this like Windows. I actually kind of like that. Yo. This is pretty cool, actually. I'm going to add a digital clock right here. No, we'll go in this corner. Boom. Oh, wait, I was still adding things. Guys, this is pretty cool. Calendar? Don't mind if I do. We'll calendar right up here. Maybe we don't need the comic strip right now. We'll come back to that. We're coming back to that. So I don't know why it's kind of missing that bar there at the top. It is sort of annoying. Wait, so if I drag it to the top to let it like full screen that way, it works. But if I press the button to do so, it breaks, and I broke it again. Oh. Guys, this is really jank. I might have to use Firefox. For now, let's figure out how to install Steam. And I think that might be in the package manager thing. Or the application. I don't know what this is. So it's right here, but I actually want to try to do this through the command line. Let's try that. This took me way too long to get to work again, and I didn't think you guys would want to sit through me switching between documentation and the console like 30 times, so we're just going to fast forward. Base file for multilib does not exist. Use SY to download. All right. Yes. Guys, I think we finally figured it out. Now I have to remember my Steam login. That's going to be the harder part of this. It's now waiting for network, which the network should be connected just fine. Okay, there's an issue signing me in. No, there wasn't. We're in. All right. So if we go here, we got to find a game. I think I know exactly what game I want to play. Now I got to figure out how I run this and make sure everything like works the same, because I think there's something I have to go in and do. Here we go. So I don't want to go on experimental. Okay, you know what? I'm fine with staying on experimental because I don't feel like having to restart Steam. Alright, by the looks of it, everything's installed. I don't want to mute the audio output. Only because I don't actually have any audio devices plugged into there. This is apparently running right now. Also, I don't want that. See what happens. I don't know what this is doing. A solid 5 minutes of black screen later. I did get a pop-up saying it's not working. It won't let me click the terminate button. Uh-oh. Did I break things already? How can I kill an app? Can I just kill Steam? Will that kill it? Oh, that killed it. So I also tried to use the Steam streaming game thingy, but that also didn't work. So we're going to skip ahead and try something else. So sadly, I don't think I'm going to be able to game on Steam until I figure out those issues. But I still want to try to play a game on this. And I want to see if the Minecraft launcher is on here. It appears it is. Let's go ahead and install it. And while that installs, I actually want to go and look at other applications. Alright, we're logged in. We're going to go ahead, load into the most recent version, and see what happens. And I did remove the Steam icon. I didn't like it. It looked ugly. This was taking so long, I decided to get on a call with my friends for a few minutes. The moment I hit that call button, it loads. Narrator off, obviously. Go to single player. We'll just load into a creative. Let's test it out. Might help if I switch my keyboard back over. Alright. This works. And you know it works, because I can build a penis. Now, I do want to test joining a server, but I think the only server I know isn't on this version. Let's do, like, Hypixel something. Now, the Optimate Flex. We go into Bed Wars. We say, jokes on y'all. I'm on Arch Linux. Oh, yeah, I'm so cool. Let's play a game of Bed Wars. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna spare you and your entire will to live and not show you this because trust me, you don't want to see it. You don't want to see it. So, in the conclusion of the video here, I'm gonna go out and say that it's not as hard as people say it is to install Arch Linux. I think if you use that installer script, it helps so much and makes things a lot faster. I want to do this again sometime in the future without using the installer script, just to see how much more challenging it is. And there is a lot more that I would love to do on Linux, but I just don't know what I want to do, like the order of it. And so I'm just going to make everything else their own separate videos. For now, this is going to be all for this video. And I thank you guys all for watching. Big shout out to all of the channel members. Here's a list of them on the screen. Because, yeah. And with that, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.